could you say your name, what you've studied, and your current occupation?
So my name is StephenMann. I have a background in computer science and mathematics, and I'm a professor at the University of Waterloo, where I've been for 30-some years.
And how do you exactly apply geometric algebra to your line of work?
I use it when looking at Pythagorean hodograph curves to do rotations and set up a system of equations to solve to meet various geometric constraints. Otherwise, mostly my work on geometric algebra is studying geometric algebra rather than applying it to my work. But the main place I've used it in my work is Pythagorean hodograph curves.
And where did your journey of getting to know geometric algebra start?
So one of Leo's colleagues saw a paper I wrote, and he pointed Leo to it because it was something, I think, about affine geometries, and Leo sent me an email, and we arranged to have a sabbatical in Amsterdam where I worked with Leo to create Gable, and that's where I started looking at geometric algebra.
You also have a background with computer science.
That's right.
How did that exactly go into your work?
Well, we program pretty much everything we do. So,
yeah.
So like when I review papers, a lot of papers say this is easy enough to program, so I check them by programming it up and seeing if it works as they claim. But yeah, so that's one of the things we wrote Gable was because we could program it up.
So what are the kind of things you can do with your research, like more practically?
With my research more practically. So the geometric algebra things is Pythagorean hodograph curves are the main thing I've done directly with geometric algebras. And again, those get used, as in my talk, they get used for potentially in computer animation and CNC machining.
All right. So you also teach a lot. How do you exactly prepare your lessons?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by prepare them. So first of all, I haven't taught geometric algebra in a course. And my other courses, just have material. I prepare lectures to present the material. I'm not sure beyond that what you would be interested in knowing.
Well, not only geometric algebra, but also like computer science, where you teach, like ahead of a lesson, how you prepare to teach the students more about the general field.
Well, a lot of it is you look for examples to illustrate the ideas.
And how do you exactly connect with students where you see some potential in?
Well, you discuss research ideas with students, and sometimes they come to you if they're research ideas, and if things click, then you accept them to your research program to do research projects.
All right. How do you exactly manage your work and life balance?
How do I manage my work and life balance? Mostly I balance it by a lot of my work is my life, but otherwise it's not a big issue. I spend time with my wife and my daughter. I go bicycling in the summers, and I haven't really had any issues with the balance. I never felt like I've had to sacrifice my home life so I could do more work, or vice versa. So it's a natural balance.
All right. Are there any kind of special projects that you've worked on or currently are working on that is important to you?
Projects that are important to me. Well, I'm working with some people in mechanical engineering on CNC machining, and one of the problems in CNC machining is the operators are all retiring and there's no replacements coming. And so a lot of our work there is we're trying to automate a lot of what the operator does so that these machines can continue to support manufacturing in the future. So that we'd like to get that done because it's very necessary.
Another question I have, I've read somewhere, I don't know if it's true, I've read somewhere that you quite like ice cream and that you've created ice cream. Is that true?
So our lab has an ice cream maker, and I used to make ice cream once a week, And it was always on Tuesday. And when it was on days that were Wednesday and not at 3:30 or something, I would let people know if they didn't believe it was Tuesday, they didn't have to have ice cream. And so I went through recipe books to find interesting flavors. I think I've made like over 100 different flavors of ice cream. I do not recommend garlic ice cream unless you like garlic. Corn ice cream was interesting. The oatmeal ice cream was probably one of the most filling things I've ever eaten. But I've had to back away from making the ice cream for health reasons.
Well, of course, then the obvious question is, what was your favorite?
What's my favorite? And I get asked this a lot. And my favorite basically is one of 6 flavors: chocolate banana, chocolate almond, chocolate raspberry, and there's a chocolate theme. Banana and a couple others. It was whichever one I'd made most recently. That was my favorite.
All right. Maybe the last question to finish up. What is your advice to young aspiring students who want to make it far in geometric algebra or computer science?
Work hard. I don't know what to tell you, right? And, a lot of things won't be easy, but if you kind of work through it, it should work out.
All right. I'd like to thank you for sitting down with us.
Well, thank you.